I'm super excited to talk to you because we've been working together for 18 weeks now.
That is crazy. It does not feel like that long yet.
No, it's literally flown by, which is like I feel like I was just talking to you the first day on what the first call we had together, and you were
Right.
just telling me everything that was kind of happening in your life. So that 18 weeks has flown by. It's almost 19.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize this like journey would go by so fast and I'm like amazed. I don't know. I thought it would like be a lot harder than it is and that it would like feel like it was taking a while, but it does not,
hmm
which is crazy.
Well, that's good. So let's get in. We're gonna kind of cover tons of stuff with Lexi's history, where she was at, what she was going through, and like where we are at now when it comes to her health, her mindset, and like what future goals look like. And really, a big thing is like what it looks like to have someone that supports you because I know from when we first started, like you were nervous, like you were scared. So yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that and just kind of get into your mindset when we started to where you're at currently.
Okay, that works for me.
So, first thing, what were you struggling with the most when we first started together?
A lot. Just kind of like I think not having like a consistent routine with what I was eating because I had a at that time and I still do have a consistent like workout routine, but when it came to food, I was just kind of like I honestly like I finally admitted to myself like right before and whenever I messaged you, I was like I don't know how much I am supposed to be eating. Like I work out a lot and I just don't know how much to feed myself. And I think I was just struggling with having so much misinformation
Mhm.
because of everything. Like if you Google like how to tone up or like how to lose weight or whatever, it is the information that's out there. There's so much. And I feel like it's a lot of it's just so misleading that I just didn't even know like where to start at that point. And,
Mhm.
overall, I would like try to eat healthy on like a pretty consistent basis, but I didn't really know like anything about macros or like what I should be eating to optimize my workouts. And then I think just having like I struggled with like the mindset around it too and always like feeling like it was my fault that I wasn't getting results and like
Mhm.
um just kind of struggling with like oh it's like because I can't stay like I guess consistent enough or I'm not like I don't want to say not like good enough, but like I'm not doing a good enough job is how I felt. So it always felt like I was doing something wrong. And
Mhm.
that was I think the biggest struggle of just knowing kind of like having something to like stick to. And like yeah, definitely wasn't eating enough before. So
Yeah.
that.
So you were
Yeah.
doing a lot of things between not knowing what to do, getting a ton of information, not knowing what was correct, and then
Yeah.
mindset too, for sure, was the big one that we've worked on. Like the first 10 weeks was like mindset, 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 which is
Yes.
super common, super common.
Right.
And Lauren, who's watching, my other client, same thing. Did a ton, and she could probably attest to this, ton of mindset work, which has been really, really helpful, obviously.
Definitely. That's like one of the biggest things that
So, what type of programs, diets, workout plans did you do before that were just like really not helping?
um a lot really. Like well, as like we talked about, I was a vegan for like 6 years. I stopped doing that like 2 years ago. So I think that like once I got out of that, then I just kind of didn't know how to eat. But like whenever I was a vegan, like I like weighed less. I was um like my weight was lower than it was when I like stopped being a vegan, but I didn't have any muscle mass, so that wasn't really working. And my workouts never got better. Like I
hmm
same workouts and I could never like increase them. So I tried that. And then what I've always tried since I was probably like 12 years old is just like eating less and counting calories and eating less calories. And like, I don't know where this information comes from, but everyone's like, oh, 1,200 calories. Like that's what you eat. And now like, that's insane. Right. But I
Yeah.
tried to eat like 12 or like 1,400 and just like eat less. And that never works because then it's like maybe it'll work for like a couple weeks and you lose like 5 pounds whatever and then it's like I would get so hungry or I'd feel like I need to eat everything that you can never like stick with that. So that was the biggest thing is I was always cutting back, just always trying to like eat less, always cut something out some food group or something, just like cut it out, you know, not eat bread or not eat like this or whatever. So that's what I would always try before.
And obviously you were hungry.
Yeah.
Given how much you eat now.
Oh my God. I can't even imagine going back to that now.
How, and I know this, I don't think of the clients that I've worked with, you weren't as like hesitant as much, but I know there was maybe some hesitancy with it. But how
Yeah.
did you feel when I said like we got to eat more food?
Oh, I was terrified. I was like,
I didn't think you were that terrified. Maybe it was like internal.
it was internal. I'm good at playing it off because, you know,
uh,
like that first meeting we had, and I told you to like give me a week to decide if I wanted to start the program or not. The biggest thing that was holding me back is like, you were like, we're going to eat more. And I think that's like what was holding me back is I was like, what do you mean we're going to eat more? Like gain weight doing this, or like, I don't know. It just like, it like scared me because I never tried that before. So it's over 10 years always trying to like eat less, and like in high school and whatever, you always try to like just eat less, and that like stuck with me. And so yeah, eating more, I was like, that just doesn't sound right to me. And I honestly thought that I would like gain weight at the beginning of this program. So I was like, you know what, if I do like gain like 5 pounds, whatever, like I'll be okay with that. I got to try something new, and put my trust in you. So that's what I did.
Well, I appreciate that. But also, you've literally not gained anything. You've lost inches, lost weight. How much, what are we at now? Like we're at least 5 down now, right?
Yeah, we're almost at 9, I
Not
would say.
cheese.
Yeah.
And eating more. So,
Yes, exactly.
so it's safe to say that worked in the end.
Yeah, and now I'm so afraid of. That was stupid.
Well, like you said, we've been taught literally our entire life to eat less. So,
Yes.
so it is really hard to like turn it around one day and be like, okay, well, if I eat more, won't I gain weight? And so, one, I'm proud of you for obviously being okay. Like, okay, if I gain a little weight, it's not the end of the world. But two, like just taking that leap into it because it's scary, like you said. Like we've always been told to eat less.
Yes, exactly. And I'm so glad that I do not do that anymore.
Good. So, what were some things maybe you were the most surprised about when it comes to working with me or just in nutrition in general?
Um, let's see. I think I one of the things I was most surprised about is like at the beginning, I remember we talked about this where I was like, I don't like want to like have to track everything I do. And it seemed like a lot at the beginning, but after a few weeks, I actually enjoyed doing that and like having daily goals and, um, you know, being able to like kind of see my week and actually like evaluate it and have you evaluate it, which was great. Um, but I guess like just overall, like what I was surprised with is, I mean, being able to eat more. That's a huge one.
Yeah.
The that I can eat, that's a big one too. And then also, I didn't think that, you know, as we slowly increased food, I didn't think I would like lose weight at all. I just thought maybe I would like maintain until we like at best I would maintain. But then the fact that I'm eating more than I ever have and my weight's going down, that's what surprises me the most. And
Mm-hmm.
just like my workouts too, like my workouts were getting better when I got a really consistent workout routine starting in like January. But then once like a few weeks into like after we started, I noticed that I had more energy during my workouts. And like after I like walked out of my Pilates class one day, I was like, I feel good. I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel great. I feel like I like was able to push myself further. So that was like a really nice surprise because I didn't even like think about that part either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can tell because like the inches are just falling off of you. And when we have that energy and that nutrition in us, it's like, oh wow, like I can actually do way more reps
Yes.
compared to trying to work out on E and you're just like, ugh, like dying through each movement.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like just I was not eating nearly enough carbs before, and now that you like push me to eat so many, like helped to boost my workouts. And So that was just like a nice surprise that I wasn't even like thinking about before we started.
Yeah. Now what? We're over 200 carbs now? Over?
20 now, 220.
Yes. Which is amazing. I'm like, get everyone over 220. Like, more carbs, the merrier.
Yeah, okay with that one.
If you can remember, what were your goals about health or your weight before, maybe right before we started, and then we'll talk about what they are now.
So before we started, my goals were a little more superficial, I would say. Like I had a goal weight in mind, or like a place that I wanted to be. And like, so I think that was the big one. And before we started, I definitely wanted balance. And I wanted to feel like better about what I'm eating and kind of know what I'm supposed to be doing. But it was mostly like superficial stuff before we started. Especially like I'm like, oh, this is like the weight I want to be, or this is the way I want to look, or this is where I want to be. So that was like my main goal before we started.
And where are they at now?
Now I'm like, why would I care about a goal weight? I care about that anymore. Because now my goals are just to feel better, to, continue to, the mindset has changed so much that I just want to like continue to work on that so it stays. And now it's just doing like small things to create goals or habits that are like sustainable for the rest of my life. Now I'm like, okay, like small steps at a time, and that's going to lead to big results later. And then I'll actually be able to maintain this and continue this journey without feeling deprived or feeling like I have to live my life differently than I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not to say having a goal weight's a bad thing, but that transformation and seeing the bigger picture,
Yes.
we could have gotten to that goal weight and then you're like, I'm good now, right? And you
Right.
could have missed out on so much growth, whether it was more muscle gain, more growth mentally, of course, and just growth in your consistency to show up if you were just striving for a number.
Yeah. So now I'm like, I don't even focus on the number. I just focus on the small goals and just like feeling stronger, feeling better mentally, physically, everything. Those are
Hmm.
my now.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like the weight loss that we do see like every week is just like a byproduct of like just doing all the little things. And we're just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's like an added bonus,
Yeah, yeah, we're not really worried about it, but it's happening.
Exactly. Okay.
So talking about mindset things, or actually I skipped one, sorry. What do you think really was like holding you back the most from, and it could be like mindset, it could be like just lack of knowledge. What do you think that was like holding you back from where you are now?
Um, I think lack of knowledge was a big one because I didn't even realize that it was lack of knowledge before we started because there's, like I said, so much on the media, so much information out there. Just like you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, anything, and you see like ads or you see influencer or people that are just like, it's all this confusing information. So it didn't feel like a lack of knowledge because it was like it was too much, right? And so
Hmm.
I think that was what was holding me back the most is like going in all these different directions, all these like different little, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing this or this. And now it's like we kind of stick to like one thing, not necessarily one thing, but I like one program. And I stick to working with you, and that has made it so much more clear about what I need to do and like where I need to be. And so I think that was a big one. And I also think that like a little bit of perfectionism was kind of holding me back
Hmm.
because like whenever you eat less, you're like, oh, I should hit this amount of like calories a day, and then if you like I would go over, then I would like fall off the rails, and I'm like, oh well, I'll
Hmm.
put it up, whatever. And so that has changed a lot because now like I'll go on vacation or I'll have a day where I don't track or I miss something, and the next day it's right back on track. It's the breakfast I normally eat. It's like so much easier to get back on track now and to like stay consistent.
Hmm.
Felt like consistency, and I don't have to be perfect at all.
Yeah,
So,
and I literally get voice memos from you, and you're like, "I'm eating bread this morning, even though I didn't hit it yesterday." I'm like, yes.
and so I don't, yeah, like you said, now I don't restrict. That was the big one too, is the restriction where I'm like, oh, well, I like ate chicken wings and I drank beer and whatever this weekend. So Monday I have to like eat a salad and I have to have a smoothie and just like, restrict. And that's what I would do before, and basically eat like just not enough carbs. So that was a big one.
Hmm.
And now if I screw up, like not screw up, but if I just like have an off day, the next day I go back to what I'm doing every other day. And so I don't feel that need to like restrict myself at all anymore.
That's amazing. And it makes me
Yeah.
super happy because that's the goal here is like creating that lasting change so that we don't repeat and fall back into old patterns that were like truly like not helping us get anywhere.
No, yeah, it wasn't helping me for a long time. And it was just a cycle. And now I'm just like back on now I'm on like a consistent track, and it is so nice. It's so nice.
Um, do you think on the topic of mindset, like your mindset has really, really changed from, is it super important to you now? Is it not as important? Like, how do you feel about it?
It's so important to me now. I feel like mindset's everything, because like if you don't fix your mindset, you're not going to be able to fix anything else. So that's like, I think that's the most important part of this journey now, whereas I like before didn't even think that much about it. So now I think just like the mindset shift is what keeps me going and what makes it easy to keep doing this. And um, yeah, I just think it's like the most important part, because without it, then I wouldn't be able to do everything else that we're
Hmm.
doing.
Hmm. What would you say? I'm assuming that's going to be the answer. What has made you the most successful, do you think? Just purely mindset?
Yeah, 100% mindset, and just not being so hard on myself either. That's
Mm,
the mindset of like, okay, I went off track, and I used to then my mindset was like, I screwed up, I'm the problem, like I need to like fix this and do this, and now I'm just like, oh, I went off track, let's go back. Like now it's just kind of like, oh, whatever, whereas before,
yeah.
anxious, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would feel guilty, and now like I go off track for a day and I'm no guilt like at all. That's it for sure. And just like realize like I'm not the problem, like I'm a human, and things happen, and I don't have to like be perfect all the time. I just need to be consistent, and that's the only reason I'm able to do this for 18 weeks, because if I had to be perfect, that I would not be able to stick to anything. And I realize that now because my mindset around that has changed so much.
Yeah. And just I remember, as we were talking about this a few months ago, was it August used to be the month where you were gaining weight, 5, 10 pounds, busy with work.
Yes.
And we got through August, and you not only did not gain, but you also lost weight in your craziest, busiest month of the year.
Which is crazy, because that's like where I would always just like, that was in August. I would always just like, well, whatever, I guess I'm just gonna like eat whatever this month, or I'm gone a lot, I'm like going on vacations, doing all this, so then like I'm just gonna like drink a lot, or and it would just like, I would like put it on the back burner, my health on the back burner for a little bit, because it was just easier that way,
Hmm.
as I have like a better mindset, like, okay, what can I do to stay consistent, or what can I do for my health today, or like what can I do. I can't control everything, but like what can I do, so now it's like, and that made it so much easier. At the end of the month I was like, wow. I was like, I can't believe that, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And we just had you focus on what you could control, like you said. I didn't
Yep.
I didn't tell you like, no one really knows this here, but Lexi's a pilot, so she has a busy schedule and a unique schedule. So never have I said you have to hit these numbers or the whole program doesn't work. We just controlled what you could control, and you were on vacation, you were visiting family, you were flying from here to there,
Yep.
and we still controlled everything we could and just didn't let those things continue to like bring you down or make you feel like it wasn't worth it, because we saw it was
Right.
worth it by the end of the month.
It definitely was. Yeah, that was like a huge surprise to me.
Yeah, and that was now like 4 pounds ago, and we're still going down.
And we're still going, and I'm number two.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Well, very cool. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time, but Thank you so much for being here. And to any lady who is thinking about taking this step, I think Lexi was probably has been one of my favorite types of people to work with because you just want to do the work, you're ready to learn, right? And it's just been a really fun experience. So, really happy that you were here. And I'll let you go now.
Me too. And yeah, it's been so far a great experience for me as well. And it makes me happy for our future working together too.
Aw, thanks. All right, well, I will let you go and I'll talk to you in Boxer probably.
We'll talk soon,
All
Maddie.
right, bye.